Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 25 in the book of Philippians. We're nearing the end of chapter 4, the end of Philippians. And today I'm going to title, The Prosperity Gospel is Too Impoverished. The Prosperity Gospel is Too Impoverished. So we've been in this section where the mind is driving the bus, that is learning and knowing and seeing the Lord in a certain way. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And it doesn't mean that you can affect all circumstances positively. What it does mean is that I can be content. I can be at peace with God. I can please God. I can be right-minded through good times and bad times. And in the context of that, Paul says that sometimes I'm hungry and I'm needful and I'm lowly. And today we're going to find out about God's provision through the Philippian church. Listen in with me. This is from Philippians chapter 4. Verse 13 says, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. That was kind of yesterday. Verse 14, now today. Yet it was kind of you to share my trouble. And you Philippians yourselves know that in the beginning of the gospel, when I left Macedonia, he's talking about 10 years before, no church entered into partnership with me in giving and receiving except you only. Even at Thessalonica, you sent me help for my needs once and again. Not that I seek the gift, but I seek the fruit that increases to your credit. I have received full payment and more. I'm well supplied, having received from Impoverished the gifts, plural, you sent, a fragrant offering, a sacrifice acceptable and pleasing to God. And my God will supply every need of yours according to his riches in glory in Christ Jesus. So he starts by saying, it's kind of you to share my trouble. And of course, we all know that trouble's better if it's shared. And he mentions a period of time. And he goes back 10 years in the beginning of the gospel. That is when the gospel just came to the peninsula of Macedonia. You remember in 50 AD, second missionary journey. It's all described in Acts chapter 16. The Spirit of Jesus wouldn't allow them to stay in Roman province of Asia. And then he gets this vision of this Macedonian man who says, come over to Macedonia and help us. He takes a boat to Macedonia, which is Philippi. Lydia's there. She gets saved. She's the seller of purple cloth. You remember this. And the next town he goes to after establishing the church in Philippi, he goes down to Thessalonica. It's 99 miles away. And he explains and reasons and proves the gospel there for 3 Sabbaths. So he's there for, let's say, maybe a month or so until a mob chases him away and out of Thessalonica. And we find out that even when Paul was in Thessalonica, that is the next big city that he stops at, the Philippians were helping him. So they sent money down the road 100 miles away once and again while he was there for 3 or 4 weeks. So from the first day, literally from the first day that they became believers until now, 10 years later, they partnered in the gospel once and again. And they also did it near and far. So when they were close, that is Thessalonica, as close as possible, or far, because he leaves Macedonia, he goes back to Ephesus, he goes back to Jerusalem, he goes 1,000 miles away, and they're still participating in this. So not only are they sharing his trouble, they're sharing with giving, they're sharing with receiving. Paul describes this as a kindness. It's kind of you to share my trouble. So the Philippians are sharing whatever wealth they had. It's a fairly cosmopolitan city. So today we're going to ask, why give? Paul says, I seek the fruit that increases to your credit. That is, by giving, you get gain. Now, I don't want to go to the prosperity gospel, which is purely a financial transaction, that if you give money, you get money, because that's an impoverished way of looking at spiritual giving. When you give spiritually, you receive a ministry. That is, you join God in pleasing God, something that God wants to do on the earth. You get the partnership of people. You get Paul. You get the people that are out doing other parts of the spiritual ministry as you do part of a spiritual ministry. You get to share their troubles. That is their life, their problems. You get to share in the group of people that you have in your location. So this is a Philippian church that's giving to Paul. So you get a bonding in your church. You get a bonding with Paul. You get a bonding with God. You get a bonding with the ministry. And in God's math, you get this increased. You never heard a person say at the end of their life, hey, I gave too much. I served too much. I loved too much. No, givers are the richest, most full people because giving makes people bigger and better and benefited. Don't you dare think that this is the prosperity gospel message today, because it's the principle of God's supply, which is so much bigger than money. It includes a relationship, it includes the person of him, it includes his presence, it includes his people, it includes his ministry. So why would I want you to give? Because there's fruit that increases to your credit. And because as a podcaster, I don't want you to miss this. I don't want you to miss the fruit that increases to your credit, which is the pleasure of God, the supply of his people, the support of his witness, the partnership in ministry, the sharing of trouble, and riches from his storehouse. So the reason that I protest, and you should protest against the prosperity gospel, is that it is too poor. It is too impoverished. So what we should be heading towards the pleasure of God, the participation in his purpose, the friendship of his people, the standing with the people here and sharing in the problems and the fruit that increases to our credit. So I do seek the fruit that increases to your credit, but it's so much more than just money. It is the prosperity gospel is too impoverished because of the richness of the things that God has in his storehouse. Thanks for listening.